Hey everybody, today I'm going to be going over why I believe 100 Thieves is going to be taking home the trophy in Masters Shanghai. So 100 Thieves are definitely not the favorites. I want to say this up front that it is a hot take. I think it's pretty obvious. Paper X are one of the favorites here, but I think they have some pretty good competition with 100T. A lot of things I'm going to say about 100T will also apply to PRX, which is why I think it'll be close. This team has momentum. Momentum is used widely in traditional sports, but I don't think it's being weighed in as heavily as it should be in Valorant. There's certain teams that when they're hot, it's hard to watch them play without thinking that somehow they're going to pull out the dub. I mean, look at this match in the upper finals with G2. They dominated this first map. Dominated 13-5. It wasn't even really close. 5-7 at half, and then they just won the whole back half. Bind, this is the key factor here. G2 came out and actually dominated 100 Thieves on this. They were not ready for this. They won some of these early rounds, got up to a little bit of a lead, and then G2 just came out, had some really good strategies, had some really good ideas of how to deal with 100 Thieves, and took, I mean, this is 100 Thieves' best map. Bind is by far their best map. They've been dominating people in this. Just a series, I think before, they were playing Leviathan, and they won 13-3, and Leviathan are no slouches. Going into the third map, I mean, they need to win this. They don't have to play this additional best of 5 in the lower finals. And 100 Thieves comes out, doesn't start super hot. It is 3-4 here, but I mean at half it's 8-4. Then G2 gets the pistol. G2 won both pistols, which is massive. 10-4. Then they go on this run and just dominate the second half. I mean, I just think this just kind of proves that fact of where even though they're down, they lose their best map, they get down in the third map, they just know how to pull out wins, and they just push through. This is a sport, and sports have high level of emotion involved. 100 Thieves are a very emotional team, and from what I've seen in traditional sports, the best teams of all time are backed by skill but driven by emotion. This team just came off a big win in playoffs, going through everybody, made a run that wasn't expected, and are playing extremely good Valorant. They're riding the momentum high, and I just don't see how they're going to be stopped right now. I believe most of this is driven by Boostio. I think this is a key factor here. These guys just play better with his energy around. Boostio has also done this before. This is exactly what he did last year with EG. He's taken what they did last year and copy and pasted it to this new team. Now, it's not exactly the same team. They don't play exactly the same way, but Boostio is smart enough to understand what this team's skills are and how to best use them. Also, this IGL coach duo is so good. I think Boostio said it best where he feels like he's the best at calling and reading the enemy teams, while Zix is great at the rest, basically. So such as the utility usage strats and so on. So they just pair so well together. They fill each other's gaps. These guys are so precise with their utility and XX. It doesn't look like they do anything without a purpose. Lately, their game's been going their way, but when things start to fall apart, Boostio is there to support his team and just give them confidence that whatever just happened doesn't matter and to go next. I mean, what else do you want from your IGL than to be that leader on that team? He can also frag, so that helps too. There's also something that happens in sports where some guys are just winners. It's kind of hard to quantify this, but you can just see it in how they play over time. Like you can just tell their mental, the way they carry themselves, the leadership qualities they possess. I don't think Boostio is naturally one of the best players in the world, but the guy puts the time in. He's proven it, and he's proven that he can take these teams to the next level. Part of this copy and paste process that they're using from EG is being very fluid in their roles and how they play them. It's so important for duelists to be extremely comfortable when playing at the tier 1 level. And I just love the way that they're not forcing Cryo to play Raze or Asuna to play Jet. They just know that these guys are better on those separate roles. So why would you want to force someone to be that primary duelist and take that away? Instead, when a map just doesn't call for that agent, they just put them on something else that they're already super comfortable with. These two have great secondary roles that they can fill into and play at a very high level. Asuna's KO especially is fantastic. And then Cryo on smokes has been playing really well, especially his bind and split. I think those two have been super strong. Then you have Eeiu, who is a recon initiator specialist, which fits so well into this meta, and Bang, who's been carrying as a smokes player too. I mean, his clutches have been crazy, especially the last couple of games. I feel like he's really been popping off and really been contributing to these guys' success. When all 5 of these guys are playing together and playing well, it's really tough. But these two guys especially have been trading very efficiently, holding down sites, being gods with their utility, and supporting their team to that level that really raises the bar. Boostio's been covering the Sentinel like he did on EG, again, comfort pick, and has been taking to the Gecko extremely well, especially on bind. Again, this kind of leads back, it's just like they have that super strong map, and that always really helps. These guys just mesh really well in these roles. I think it plays into this double initiator meta well. Not to mention, each one of these guys have had pop-off moments and are already cracked aimers. I mean, look at the run they just made here. I mean, so again, comparing this to EG from last year, I mean, they lose first 2 America's kickoff games, tough 2 games. These two teams were playing pretty well, especially Sentinels at this time. They get Sentinels again, super hot team. They go on to win Masters Madrid, so like, how do you hold this against them? Come in 2-0 G2, 2-0 Cloud9. They lose to Crew here, but this is when Crew is at their peak. They crush Energy in the last week, make playoffs. They 2-0 Loud, 13-6, 13-4. They 2-1 Leviathan. They almost win Sunset, which Leviathan, it's one of their best maps. They 2-1 G2. We already talked about this a little bit. And then they just roll G2 in the finals. I mean, it's tough to argue against that. I think a lot of people are doubters on 100 Thieves, mainly because of what this team did last year. The high expectations, the choking, all that kind of stuff. But again, this is the same narrative that we've seen with EG last year. The team was bad the year before. They didn't start off well, started playing together, started learning their strengths, had a primary map that was super strong, and then had a really solid map pool to back it up. There's a lot of factors that go into winning these big tournaments, and it just feels like these guys have all the right blend of these things going on right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who you think is better, why you agree, why you disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts and chat with you about it. If you could like this video, it really helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you enjoyed.